Hello, and for today's video for absolute beginners I am going to show you how to correctly mix your resin so that it is rock hard, as you can hear, not bendy at all, doesn't have any surface marks, is nice and smooth and isn't sticky anywhere. So today I'm using a 1:1 ratio, which means that it's the equal parts of A and B. If you were using a 1:2 ratio, you would do 1 measure of the A, divide that by 2, and do half of that first measure for the B. But we'll come to that in another video. For today I'm just going to show you how to correctly mix your resin so that you don't get any problems when it comes to casting. This is an example of a casting that has not cured properly because I purposely did not mix it properly, and this happens. Look, it's bendy, it's plasticky, and it's not that hard yet. Plus there are lots of little sticky marks there, and over here it isn't smooth and flat. So I've done this purposely for you, just to show you the difference between this. As you can see, it's all gorgeous and flat and smooth and rock hard and does not bend. And this, which is bendy and will actually probably never really cure. Sticky, it's got lots of little marks on the top and on the bottom and isn't very attractive. So this was just an example made for you just to show you what not to do. You will need parts A and B of this particular resin, and all the information is down below in the description of this video. So I like to start with opening my bottles, then taking part A, which is the resin, followed by the hardener, which is the part B. And I like to use an electric scale and measure by volume, so in this case equal volumes for both. For this particular demonstration I will need 100 grams in total, so I will be pouring out 50 grams of part A, which is the resin, and then I will be adding 50 grams of the part B, which is the hardener. When you nearly get to your number, slow down a little bit so you don't overpour. And then I'm adding the part B, and I'm going up to 100. You can always tear down and start again from 0 and just measure another 50. Just a little bit more. And then set a timer for 3 minutes and give it a good stir. Alexa, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes, starting now.
Make sure you scrape the sides as you go to mix equally sides A and sides B. Scrape the bottom to incorporate it into the A and B. Scrape the sides to incorporate them into the A and B, and keep turning. I like to go in a clockwise motion and an anti-clockwise motion and scrape the sides down and the bottom, and I'll keep going for 3 minutes. So although the full 3 minutes might seem pointless, it is really important to stir for the full 3 minutes, scraping down the sides, the bottom, etc. as you go along. If you don't stir properly, you risk the resin not curing properly, as I showed you at the beginning of the video. So this 3 minutes of stirring is not the most fun, but it is necessary, so I really do advise you not to skip it and just do 2.5 minutes or just do 2 minutes, because that would be a shame if you end up having a beautiful piece that never cures. So be patient, keep going and stir for the full 3 minutes. So as you're scraping the sides down, you might notice quite a lot of bubbles, but don't worry about that, because afterwards you can take care of them with a torch gun or a heat gun and lightly heat over your project and all of the bubbles will disappear. Now a lot of people ask me if resin is food safe. So this is craft resin, and once it's fully cured, it can be safely used as a food contact surface. So the answer is yes in this particular case, for this particular resin, but once it's fully cured. So as I've explained before in previous videos, there is an initial cure, which is the 24-hour cure, which means that it's set. So if you wanted to touch it, you could. But it's my advice as a resin artist, and having used this for about 1.5 years now, that it's always better to wait a full week, if not a little bit longer, before even putting cups on, so it doesn't leave that horrible ring mark. Putting food on, the same thing, but in this case, it is food safe. So depending on what resin you're using, you need to check the safety data sheet from the actual company, and Craft Resin does have their safety data sheet on their website. But if you're not using craft resin and you're just looking at this video to teach yourself how to correctly mix resin, you'd have to ask your particular resin company to show you their safety data sheet. Alexa, stop the timer. And there you go, it's done and ready to pour. Now when you come to having a big cup like this, don't leave it in the cup, because after a while as it starts to cure, it will start going boiling hot and you actually won't be able to hold the cup. So if you can, divide it now into smaller little cups such as these sizes, and you can mix your colours into it. So that's the end of this tutorial to show you how to correctly mix resin. And this was a 1:1 ratio, but in future videos I will also be using a 1:6 ratio resin to show you how to mix that and how to correctly calculate those as well. And also a 1:7 ratio and also a 1:2 ratio. So look out for those videos coming soon. I wish you all a great week, take care of yourselves, and see you in my next video. Bye!